Gotta make space kasi dito ko ilalagay yung shit. Ambition.
This episode is sponsored by BetterHelp. Sometimes our best thinking gets us into situations that our best thinking
This man is having arguments with his wife.
gets us out of. That's when it's time to call in a pro at BetterHelp. Recently, I found myself in a conflict where I was sure I was right. I ran it by my therapist at BetterHelp. He related to my situation.
They did the
and
calculation.
suggested that though I may in fact have been right, might I consider the concept of justice, me being right, versus
Fairness.
piety, my fidelity to natural obligations, obligations that may surpass the significance of the justice I felt entitled to. This new perspective from my BetterHelp therapist allowed me to stay calm, not do anything stupid, consider the conflict in a new light, and things got better. The sign-up process for BetterHelp is straightforward.
Nag-check ka ng application. Kahit yung mga work from home.
Di ako nga, ako.
Maganda rin yung mga work from home. May sinend ako dati work from home eh.
Anong job na work from home?
Madami nga. Yun, ikaw nga mag-search. Lagyan mo lang work from home jobs.
Work from home jobs.
Search mo.
Okay.
Forward, you fill out a
1 minute, 12 seconds.
comfortable questionnaire. 24 to 48 hours later, in most cases, a therapist will contact you. You can switch to a different therapist for free. BetterHelp.com/Van Neistat for 10% off your first month of therapy. Link in the description. Thank you, BetterHelp. I'm pretty sure this is like my 125th YouTube video.
Is he talking to Casey?
But it's not a significant number. I know what I'm making next week, but I have to wait on this ladder to come in the mail before I can make it. And then this week, my question...
The ladder! Oh my god, yung wooden ladder in another episode, yung sa thinking like a boy, acting like a man. Oh my god.
Dude, what the hell should I make for a video?
I always love looking at the nitty-gritties of his room. Just as much as a certain somebody likes to look at the nitty-gritties of my videos. Ganun ako sa videos ni Van. My world map, my map of ano ba yan? Parang weather patterns in California. I'm not sure how much of a meteorologist Van is, pero wouldn't be surprised. This man knows how to camp. Knows how to read the weather. Yes!
There it is.
Yes. Yes, mga archival tapes. I wonder how long those are. An hour? $2,000. June 5/3/2000. May 3, 2000. Digital video and film lab. Hey,
If I
converting it.
was to make a YouTube video about the honest, biggest conflict in my life from week to week, almost every week it would be, what am I going to make for a video? And then the conflict of making that video. And then the video would be about nothing. So this week I am indulging in that conflict that arises every week. And this is what you're seeing right here.
Video.
Yep.
Okay. I don't know, but I do think that
Sabi nga ba he's talking to his fucking brother. Nanghingi ng advice.
I don't know, but I do think
napaka critical ko, nonchalantly insulting these two, pero hell, that's I am critical of them. Kasi I'm trying to do everything that they're doing, and everything that they're doing has an element of, wait, I can't do that because I'm not in America, I'm not an American, and these guys are filthy rich. Hindi lang nila ma-manage yung job nila ng maayos, and seeing that reflect sa akin, parang, well, ayoko maging struggling artist, that's for sure. Kaya kahit na I look up on these two brothers. Hi. Anyways,
125.
alam mo yun, yung parang, ano eh, I don't want to look at them on a pedestal. Even so, I've done that already. I looked at them through to a pedestal, and ayoko nang maging blind sa ganun. Gusto ko na makita, hindi, may mga flaws sila, and I don't want to be oblivious to that, or ayokong i-ignore o baliwalain dahil lang hindi ko alam paano mag-isip para sa sarili ko on that kind of perspective. Hindi, gusto ko rin intindihin kung bakit, at kung if it's worth criticizing on some level na hindi applicable sa akin, it needs to be pointed out for my own sake. For my own sake. So, napaka-subjective criticism. Mostly subjective criticism. Wala lang mga objectively wrong na masasabi sa videos na in terms of a technical level. It's always gonna be, and for the most part, palaging personal yung mga inaano ko sila eh. If ever may mga real critics lang ako, siguro indulgent, narcissistic, parang that's the nature of their content, and they base this off of their ego. So, I know that already.
Videos, as ambiguous as that number is, I think that's gotta be like, what is the relationship between that number and your total canon of work prior to YouTube?
Archive backup. Oh, God, I want an archive backup.
And your total canon of work
2000s, 2019, some project files, archive backup.
prior to YouTube. Because
Yeah.
either like maybe you've made more than 125 videos before you started
Nazis.
YouTube.
Okay, the Nazis. Science experiments, 2003, Fred at 50. Handy contraption, caretaker, cleaning, driver's test. I want to see all of these. Kate Moss teaser. Yun ba yung sa yung kay Tom Sachs? Ay, no. McDonald's industrial trailer.
But there's no way you made that many
Piss
more
station.
because I don't know what my number was, but than that. Because I don't know what my number was, but like, say I've been doing YouTube seriously for like 7 years. I made over 1,000 videos or something like that, and I think that canon eclipses everything that I've done before that, which just seems insane because the breadth of work that I did, we did together back in the day seems so much more deep and vast than just what I've done on YouTube. It's actually not the case. You get caught up in the momentum and tidal wave that is uploading on YouTube, and then like the profundity that is that, I think is like a great story. You probably already told that story. I made that video like 50 times.
I did a tally of the number of YouTube minutes I've produced since launching the channel
Watch hours?
2 years ago, and the rough estimate of how many pre-YouTube minutes I produced over the prior 20 years. And I think what Casey was getting at is that I've probably surpassed, with the last 2 years' work, I've probably surpassed the amount of content I made in the previous 20 years.
Mm-hmm.
Just take HBO, for instance. I had 6 weeks to produce 13 minutes of content for each episode. So our production schedule was 6 weeks per episode, and in those 6 weeks, so our production schedule was 6 weeks per episode, and in those 6 weeks, I had to have 13 minutes of edited, polished content. I'm doing 10 minutes a week on average on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
And in the last 2 years, I've done 1,169 minutes of YouTube content, which is like 10 feature films length of content.
Mm-hmm. Or Netflix show. Because a Netflix episode is like, boy, it's gonna eat over your life. Why does every Netflix episode need to be an hour long? If it's gonna be an hour long, it better be as good as Breaking Bad. That's all I have to say. Breaking Bad is 4 acts. Dapat a story na an hour long has to be a concise 4 acts. If it's 22 to 27 minutes long, the average length of an episode of cartoon, dapat that's makapagsiksik ka na at least 3 acts. Maayos na 3 acts, coherent na 3 acts. Tapos yun nga yung parang break the mold every now and then, like sa Rick and Morty. Or BoJack Horseman, more successfully so in that case.
Okay. Yeah, I'll come down and get it right now. Okay. All right. See you then. Thank you. Bye. Tape's done from the lab.
Okay, malabo yung background, blurry.
And on Patreon, I have like an exchange between my audience and myself. I got a message from a patron a few weeks ago saying that he had a good solid career working on YouTube videos for other people, but he felt compelled to make videos on his own. And at what age? I think he asked me. He said, how do you put your age in perspective as an artist? As a young person, I have found my thing. I do it professionally at a very high level, but I often feel down about myself because I have not pursued this thing personally. And what he means is he hasn't made YouTube videos for himself. He helps other people produce their YouTube videos. And he has a good career and he makes money. And in my response, I said it took me until I was 45 years old before I had a solo career, and 45 is too late. I think it's too late. Do you feel, this is like a totally different subject, but kind of not. Do you feel, and I've said this like publicly, a responsibility to discourage people from becoming YouTubers and professional creators?
Oh, I should try this technique sa CapCut, yung lalabuan ko yung background. Napanood ang video dati. Lalabuan ko lang yung background slightly para may focus dun sa foreground. You know? It's a trick na quite a professional film equipment and shit. I should try
all
that.
The time. Basically every chance I get. Go ahead. Sorry. Go ahead.
It feels like one piece of advice you can give me to become a YouTuber, I say to them, don't. That's what I say. I discourage it.
No, it's hard not to just be like a hard ass like football dad.
Yeah, because you fucking did it.
Yeah.
Think about what blood you shed to build your career on YouTube. It's absurd. What you had to do is ridiculous and insane.
Saving his friend Oscar from overdosing. Ayun yung landlord nila. It's a 368.
It's like an Indiana Jones.
This video is all over the place.
It's like an Indiana Jones where he like has to just step off the edge of that cliff. And then it turns out that there was a bridge there. It was just invisible. But like the test was his test of faith.
That's cool.
Test of faith.
That's some bullshit. That's some old trickaroo perspective bullshittery.
And then it turns out that there was a bridge there. It was just invisible. But like the test.
Okay, if ito pala yung ginagawa ni Spielberg, I mean, I know Spielberg is the GOAT pagdating sa traditional classic storytelling, pero like, if ito pala yung sa Indiana Jones, then shit, I'm actually missing out.
Test was his test of faith.
I'm missing out. Galing yan, you know?
And I don't know what the connection was, but Casey, when he was talking about what I went through, the blood I spilled, and he's talking he's talking vicariously. He went through the same thing, probably to a higher degree. Something clicked in my mind, this idea I've had for a long time, of showing the first tape I ever shot before any of this. I think I was just testing the camera out. I was like playing with the camera.
Ano ba yung pinaka ano? The oldest footage I have of anything na is a film was an Angry Birds short film. It was my first attempt ever at a short film, and I just did it na parang I did it so naturally, as if I know how to use the camera. My old phone was yung my phone, not iPhone, my phone, na mataba na mga BlackBerry, and my ball roller na parang sa old mouse. I shot it through that and edited through that. That was amazing experience. Digital painting, traditional painting, filmmaking, photography. How long? 3
So with the
gigabytes.
exception of setting up
Take 1. 3 gigabytes. It's an hour long.
so with the
I guess yun yung capacity ng tape.
exception of setting up this Final Cut Pro project, I haven't watched any of this tape. And I don't know. Okay, let's see my Brooklyn
Hi. Okay.
apartment. Okay, so that shot of me with the
He
That's in
taped
my Brooklyn apartment. Okay, so
Oscar.
that shot of me with the helmet cam was taped over the beginning of this opening footage. This is Carroll Gardens, Brooklyn, on DeGraw Street, on the border of Carroll Gardens and Cobble Hill. And this was an old, like, mob neighborhood. If you look this way, there's a famous funeral home that's like a mafia funeral home. Mafia, please don't kill me for saying that. And this is just my little, like, it's not a bodega, it's just like one of these Brooklyn stores. These have all been wiped out by Dwayne Reed now.
Well, this is the only footage I have.
It's just me. I mean, this is 23 years ago. And that's Nina Millen. She's an actress here in Los Angeles. She was in Bad Moms. She's like a working actress on TV and in movies. And that went away. Off-track betting. I think Giuliani maybe shut those down. Maybe not. Maybe I'm wrong. But that particular one disappeared. And this is
Dude, I think you're gonna capture a lot of attention, especially with the fact that you have a video camera taped at the side of a helmet. If you were just holding a video camera on your hand, no big deal. But it was taped at the side of your helmet. I know you were innovating the idea of a GoPro, pero coming, from one fellow weirdo to another. Don't you know? You're gonna expect some eyes going your way whenever you're shooting at them with that contraption sticking out of your head, right?
President Street in Brooklyn.
Hey, clown.
And this is, I had this camera to transfer the videotapes from our childhood. That's Jesse. These are college friends of mine. We all lived together in this big communal house called the Hippie House in Williamsburg, Virginia, at William and Mary. And so I had transferred using this camera from which we're watching the footage. I had transferred the VHS tapes from our childhood and edited using an iMac. Edited the family VHS tapes together. That's the F Train, New York City.
Overexposed.
Broadway Lafayette. That was my stop. I started working at Sax's studio. So that's Scholastic. While they were renovating it. Oh, it's such a great shot. So I was asked in one of these live streams that I do on Patreon, someone asked me if there were any obstacles I had to overcome or hardships I had to overcome. And I thought about it, and really the only one I could think of is my ambition. That's been the hardship. It's just my ambition.
Looking like Draco Malfoy there.
And so I don't know, I felt for some reason that's me with hair. Let's go. We have tons of stuff we gotta do. Yeah, we're this thing. Alright, fun family vacation.
That's because you married my mom, though, man. Doesn't make you my father. And you can't boss me around the whole time.
This is just the very, very beginning. No one had video cameras back then. Look, you won't see another video camera.
It's fascinating na ano, of all filmmakers na I like, na gumagawa ng films na fiction or based on you know, based on a true story, or the few documentaries I've ever watched in my life na made by a feature. I've watched lots of documentaries and you know, video discounting video essays and anything na published by YouTuber. Mga traditional documentaries I've watched pero not a lot from known famous documentarian directors like Si Werner Herzog, which I should definitely watch more of his work kasi sila siya nag-influence kay Van and just yung process of filmmaking. Pero of all the people, of all those artists, of all those guys, of all those things that they do na nag-inspire sa akin the most, it's this guy. It's this motherfucker that is just struggling through and doing his best na magkaroon ng maayos na career. And showing the process of that along the way. Personalized siya yung pinaka-impactful sa akin. His brother then to a degree, pero yun nga, parang from being an artist perspective, from a more personal perspective, it's this guy for sure. It's this motherfucker. I find it really fascinating. It's, it's really, really fascinating. I have about a year's worth of footage now na consistently nagsushoot ako. And marami pa akong ibang hindi pa na-edit na footage. Pero yun nga. Sige. 13 minutes, 44 seconds moving forward.
This is the Soho flea markets.
Such a different
they
life.
exist. I don't think they exist anymore. I think Craigslist and eBay
Mm.
just wiped these things Those are old movie cameras and movie projectors
Hmm.
from the days of old, from before video. Oh no! I'm gonna have to buy every single one of these bikes for all my friends. Oh my god! Holy crap! 150. I don't have that on me. $150 for that beautiful British Triumph bicycle.
Buy, sell, and trade.
So that's a Bolyu Super 8 camera. So that's the home movie camera from the generation before VHS.
Ayun, ito pa yung ano before that.
Before, manual kami nagpa-process with Sprout, yung attendance natin is easy na dito.
See that? I bought the helmet. So you see me in the very beginning of this footage that we're watching now, wearing this helmet with a camera mounted to the side of it. And that's because I taped over on this tape this footage. I taped over this footage with me wearing the helmet cam for like 2 seconds. This is me buying the helmet, and then I took a Dremel and I cut a hole and hose clamped my video camera to the side of it so that I could make a video of me riding my bicycle to work.
That was version 1. That's version 2. He probably realized na, oh shit, this one, it's too heavy. You know, it's dragging to one side. So, yung ginawa niya, according to his story, he mounted the same camera onto his bike with a sponge and a couple of wooden planks para mag-stabilize on the bike.
And we had a dog like this. Nina, Jesse, and I, when we lived at the hippie house at William and Mary, we had 2 very similar Samoyeds like that. So this is pre-September 11th, New York. Just goofy 25-year-olds. It's the Metropolitan Museum of Art. Very sad. And there's a man on the street. See all the cameras she has? No, there's a woman on the street with a whole bunch of cameras. Oh, taking all the pictures for all these people because you couldn't just take a digital picture with your phone and then text it to everyone. So she had all of those cameras at her feet.
Wow.
Let's rock. So I'm gonna take a right.
So nag-voice over commentary lang siya dito. That footage is an hour long, so syempre kinondense down niya.
In the street.
Cars na aparado on both
This
sides.
footage is not as bad as I remember it. I remember it being terrible. And after seeing this, I built this bike mount with the camera mounted on the handlebars
Exactly.
of the bicycle. And then I made the movie called The Holland Tunnel, where I rode my bicycle through the Holland Tunnel. That was sort of my first real internet movie. That was the first movie I ever uploaded to the internet.
1659. Kailangan ko rin I'm just thinking about careers. Ito ba talaga gagawin ko? Ito ba gusto ko? For what reason? Gagana ba dito sa Pilipinas yan? Filmmaking and shit. Well, basta gawa lang YouTube videos. Fine. Nakakabuisit yung lack of shit ko to have and to do. Pero well.
I watched this Eagles documentary, and I hate the fucking Eagles, man. But they're so successful that
Repeat.
Eagles documentary, and I hate the fucking Eagles, man. But they're so successful that I wanted to see it. And the documentary opens up with Joe Walsh, who I think was the guitarist for the Eagles. and he quotes this philosopher.
Wait, the Eagles